is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Monday, May the 7th. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. He has established crypto technology-related companies in Barbados and other Caribbean islands and is now set to play an integral role in the attempt to make Bermuda the epicenter for crypto tech, including blockchain and cryptocurrency. And get this, all at no cost to the people of this country. Gary Moreno tells us more about the new cryptocurrency advisor to the Premier and the Ministry of Finance.
Meet Gabriel Abed. He's described as the leading authority on blockchain technology in the Caribbean region, having established the first blockchain company in Barbados and one of the first in the Cayman Islands. According to him, his decision to come to Bermuda to work free of charge for the government is all part of an effort to help the Pan-Caribbean region take the lead in this new movement, with Bermuda at the helm. He says the idea to make Bermuda the epicenter for this came following discussions with Premier David Burt at the World Economic Forum in Davos.
I believe that there is a need to build innovation lab here in the region, and Premier Burt offers that opportunity to really advance us and build out what could be constituted as the perfect country within a small and developing state, showing that our small size is not our disadvantage, and proving to the other regional governments that we can be leaders in the international arena on anything that we choose to put our minds towards. And Premier Burt's proving that.
Mr. Abed of the view that Bermuda is already well ahead of the competition thanks to its well-established regulatory structure, which makes the island best suited for establishing the global headquarters for this, as he puts it, world-changing technology.
Bermuda has the reputation of being the risk capital of the world. So being a jurisdiction that has provided regulatory clarity bodes well for the future of this field, which needs regulatory clarity. So Bermuda offers a natural haven of being one of the innovators in this space that can actually wrap their head around the technology and adequately and responsibly manage it.
And as to any threat posed by the constant criticism of Bermuda as a tax haven by countries like the UK, whose House of Commons recently passed a bill calling for overseas territories to make public their registries of private interests.
Bermuda is setting that standard. So in order for UK to enact a standard, they need to take a stance, and they have yet to. So what you're seeing here is standardization in the form of innovation, and being the world first and leaders in the world to set forward that model of unison that they can themselves follow before they then decide to pass judgment against it.
Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, Michael Dunkley, Shadow Minister of National Security and Government Reform, is not so sure about this pro bono arrangement. Mr. Dunkley has also raised questions about some of the blockchain companies looking to open offices in Bermuda, including Bit Inc., which is run by Mr. Abed.
When I heard about the announcement that came out, I guess it was late last week, and that this gentleman and his company had been hired at no cost to the taxpayer, I thought that was very interesting, because I found in life that there's always a cost attached. And if you don't see it right up front, then you just got to dig a little bit deeper. And what I found was interesting is the Premier delivered a ministerial statement as a Minister of Finance to the House on Friday, and in it he went through the MOUs that the government had signed over the past week with Binance and Medici Ventures. But there was no mention of the MOU or the free consultancy by BIT and Mr. Abed. I asked some questions in the House of Assembly on the motion to adjourn, because while I think that there is opportunity in cryptocurrency, I think that we need to have real sober discussion before we run off promising the world on this. I think it's a curious relationship, and the reason why I am focusing in on it, my colleagues have some questions that need to be answered, is I am aware that Medici has a significant shareholding in BIT. In March of this year, they invested $3 million in the company, and that's after investing a further $4 million in 2016. So I guess if you looked at it just straight up, you would say that Medici has a MOU with the government of Bermuda. But then if you look at the MOU for BIT, you would get a sense that BIT might be doing the bidding for Medici as they give the free advice to the government and the people of Bermuda. And that's clearly not the way we want to set up an industry that has some potential for Bermuda and Bermudians.
And we'll have more news for you after this short break and the latest weather forecast. Stay with us.
I got these for seasickness last week, and they're terrible.
That's strange.
I know. I put one behind each ear like you're supposed to, and nothing happened.
These are tablets. You're meant to take them with water.
I got this pump for my asthma. Hasn't changed anything.
Show me how you're using it. It's an inhaler. You're meant to breathe it in.
Well, this toothpaste, definitely off.
It's a hemorrhoid cream.
Well, that explains why my gums are shrinking.
Are you ready? A day you won't forget as Bermuda Salute presents Spring Fling, Saturday, May 12th, featuring two of reggae music's biggest megastars, the Queen of Reggae, Marcia Griffiths, and the captain of the big ship, Freddie McGregor. National Sports Center, Under the Tent, hit after hit from Marcia Griffiths and Freddie McGregor. Music by DJ Radcliffe, Xanadu Music Jamaica, DJ Juggling Jason, and DJ Breeze. Tickets at Pizza House, all locations, Jamaican Grill, Court Street, Wiki Licky Laundromat in Hamilton, or ptix.bm online. Hosted by Power Girl. Sponsors, Wiki Licky Laundromat, Pizza House, Pepsi, and Grotto Bay. Saturday, May 12, showtime 8 p.m. National Sports Center.
Looks like the sun, it doesn't shine for me.
Spring Fling.
Still I'm a living, trying to be free.
Welcome to Furniture Walk. At Furniture Walk, we have one of the island's widest selections of top brand home furnishings, including Stearns & Foster, Craftmaster, Natuzzi, Universal, Bassett, and many more. Whether you're freshening up your living room or remodeling your entire home, we have all the brands and top quality furnishings you'll need. We also offer in-house financing. Can't find what you're looking for in store? No problem. We can special order it for you. Our website has an even larger selection of the world's best furniture. Stop by our Paget store and we'll be happy to help you get on your way to finding the perfect selection for your home or office. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years.
Welcome back. Well, hundreds of school students took part in a digital citizenship conference in Hamilton today. Workshops and panel discussions were held throughout the day with much of the emphasis on educating this generation of youngsters about cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and what the law says about these crimes. Gary Foster Skelton was there.
I've got so many great friends out there. It's really interesting finding out all about them. There's loads of sites we can get together, play games, or just chat away. I've got this one game where I play detective, where I try to work out where my friends live, what they look like exactly, the school they go to.
I can get all the information I need just by doing a little bit of internet research.
Who's got their eye on you or your children? Stark and sinister realities were front and centre at the Digital Citizenship Conference. Young people from across Bermuda put down their phones and perked up their ears to hear how easily the information superhighway can detour into dangerous roads.
1 in 13 people will be victims of some form of stalking. Be mindful of what you post, what you say, who you say it to.
The conference aimed to help kids become safe and informed digital citizens, and also to know when online communication crosses the line from offensive to criminal. Students were picked from the crowd to answer questions on cyber law via a unique and entertaining selection process.
Can I text, post, or comment online that I am going to kill someone? If you send someone that type of message, the penalty is imprisonment for 7 years. Can I ask someone under 16 to send naked pictures? If you ask someone, a child, to send it to you, you can get up to 10 years imprisonment. If we can prove that you were looking at a picture, right, just having it in your phone, it carries a maximum sentence of 5 years imprisonment.
There are numerous examples of such behaviour globally. In an effort to get out in front of the problem here, the students themselves organised the conference.
We live in a generation where our mindsets are very different. We're very technology driven, and we find that a lot of adults don't actually know everything about technology, which is why it's driven by the youth, because we understand the issues that need to be touched on so that we can relate it to our peers.
The Department of ICT Policy and Innovation was also behind the conference, which featured an evening program for adults to help them recognise the signs of cyber abuse. For more information, the department can be reached on ictpolicy@gov.bm. Gary Foster-Skelton for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
And turning to weather news, another sunny day for our Tuesday. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we have a lot of rain just off to the west, but most of this will remain just a bit to the west of Bermuda. Now, there could be a few spotty showers that sneak in, a few hints of that tomorrow, but it won't be widespread. Anything that does march into our area is going to be short-lived, and it shouldn't be too much of a hindrance for your plans. You can see there is quite a bit of rain out there. This is where the satellite is estimating the most widespread rain, but again, it should generally stay away. At least the widespread action will be. You can see a couple of little clouds beginning to pop up to the south. Here's the water vapor imagery. So there is some moisture in our atmosphere, and that could be enough to help spark a couple of hit-or-miss showers. It's a little warmer, though, 76 degrees, not bad. Humidity is up a bit, and the wind is blowing from the southeast, 14 to 18 knots. Water temp is just about 2 degrees cooler than the air temp, so pretty comfortable, although it's still rising, obviously, as we warm things up, approaching the summertime. Waves on the inside 1 to 2 feet, outside 3 to 5 feet, but there is a little bit of concern for some of the boaters, especially on the outside. Even though they're not big waves, there's a breeze and a chop to the water. Tonight, partly cloudy, 71. Most of us should stay dry tonight. There is a small craft warning in effect through Tuesday morning, so be aware of that, primarily for the outer waters. Low tide at 8:34, so the tide's going out now. It's going to come back in around 3:17 a.m. Most of us will be asleep at that point, we hope. Low tide again tomorrow in the mid to late morning, and then the tide comes back in at 3:49 p.m. So, a partly sunny day tomorrow. There's a small chance for just a brief shower. Most of the action will stay away to the west, where the wind is kind of coming together. You can see that front here with the winds interacting with one another, and that's where the air is kind of converging and forcing some of that air upwards to produce more clouds and showers, and that fine line stays to our west. That's where most of the moisture will remain. It gets a little closer, but it never really pushes in with any gusto, because high pressure to our east is protecting us for now, and that's a pretty good thing if you have outdoor plants. It is a little dry, but at least we'll take what we get. So as we look at the gateway forecast, the outlook for eastern North America and then into London as well, pretty warm in the United Kingdom. Scattered thunderstorms there, 78 degrees. Meanwhile, it's pretty seasonable, what one would expect this time of the year, from Toronto to New York, Boston, Atlanta, and Miami is warm with some showers. Down into the Caribbean, scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're in the 80s in Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad and Tobago as well. No tropical threats. That's good news at this point. Still have about 3.5 weeks before we have to at least consider the beginning of hurricane season, but there is nothing imminent. So the extended forecast keeps us generally dry. Again, we do want to mention the small chance for a shower or two Tuesday into Wednesday. Nothing widespread. More clouds into Thursday. Most of the rain stays to our west. Temperature's pretty steady. 76 for your high. Lows between 69 and 71. Have a good one.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
I was diagnosed with illness. Very frightening, because my son had just turned 1 and it was a cancer. So I'm young, new baby, and I needed to get the care that I knew would be definitive, so that I wanted to be around for him for a very long time. I got in contact with BF&M, and BF&M was able to commit at that time to doing at least 50%, so we were comfortable. Okay, well, we're gonna go. We got off the plane actually the day of the procedure, and on my way to the limo, my case manager called and she says, "Kiana, we got it, you're covered at 100%. And I cried all the way to the office because I was just so happy. The BF&M difference is that I really felt that the case manager really was concerned about my overall care, and because of that I really appreciated them. I think that personal care, that willingness to listen, And then to work until they were able to get it so that I could get full coverage really made the difference for me.
This is Rick Blomquist of De Pere, Wisconsin. His life is pretty comfortable. He lives in a comfy home, wears comfortable shoes. He even has a comfortable job. Rick Blomquist thought he had comfort all figured out. But then he laid on a Serta and realized his life was only just sorta comfortable. The new Serta iComfort Hybrid Mattress. Not just sorta comfortable, Serta comfortable.
Feel the difference a good night's sleep can make. Exclusively available at Dreams, Bermuda's only mattress gallery.
Pumps make our world go. Cars, washing machines, oil rigs, submarines, all have pumps. The heart is a pump too. And like all pumps, it has parts that wear out and need to be replaced. But the heart isn't easy to get to. First, surgeons have to cut through a protective cage. But what if you could get to the heart the same way blood does? Through an artery. Researchers at Columbia and Weill Cornell, working with New York Presbyterian, pioneered an artificial aortic valve that folds closed, like an umbrella. Doctors guide the valve through arteries to the heart, where it unfolds and goes to work. Techniques like TAVR may soon replace open heart surgery altogether. Patients could check in the morning and leave with a rebuilt heart the very next day. That's amazing. And it's happening right here at New York Presbyterian.
The National Day of Peace is a time for our community to come together, to mourn together, to sing together, to laugh together, to celebrate everything that makes us uniquely Bermudian.
Hi, my name is Nico Fox, and I lost my son Rico Bubba to gun violence.
There are many of us who need this as an opportunity to mourn, to grieve. There are other of us that need to see that we are in this together.
You are a mother, a granny, a daughter, a sister, anyone that has been affected by the violence in Bermuda, then join us to help bring peace.
We see this as an opportunity for us to bear testament to the world that together we can make a difference.
This is a free event brought to you by the Ministry of National Security. Doors open at 4:30 p.m. Wednesday, May 9th at the National Sports Center.
Bermuda is likely to sue in court the UK government over London's order that the overseas territories implement public company registers. That's the opinion of former Finance Minister Bob Richards, who says that litigation could last for years. Here's the second part of Tarai Trott's interview with the former politician.
Harmful legislation set to be passed by the British Parliament forcing public company registers upon Bermuda and the overseas territories has some here renewing calls for the island to dust off plans for independence. The overseas territories say their financial services would be hurt if they are forced to implement a public register showing the owners behind local companies. The fear is international companies may not want such information publicly available and will simply relocate to another jurisdiction which offers more privacy.
It's easy to scapegoat dots on the map, and that's what they're doing.
Bob Richards is the former Minister of Finance and Deputy Premier. He believes the mother country is picking on its territories for purely political reasons.
Got nothing to do with us. It's got to do with our internal politics.
As for Bermuda becoming an independent nation as a result of this, Mr. Richards says not so fast.
There are a lot of important steps for us before that. I think the obvious one is that we need to go to court because the information that I had available to me, which I know the Premier has available to him, is a very, very authoritative legal opinion from an authority on constitutions of overseas territories in the UK, that the legislation that was passed in the UK Parliament recently cannot be applied to Bermuda.
The former finance minister already reached out to Premier and Finance Minister David Burt to offer his full support, something Mr. Burt welcomed during a speech in the House of Assembly on Friday. It has been suggested that if the vote of the House of Commons stands and the territories are required to implement public registers, that the territories, including Bermuda, should simply refuse to enforce the law.
I guess that's an option. I don't think it's an attractive one. The most attractive option is to win in court. I'm not so sanguine on the option of just not obeying, because we consider ourselves to be people that abide by the rule of law.
Experts say the ruling from London is important because at the end of the day, the island is not the only choice for international companies.
The overseas territories aren't the only place that do what we do. There's lots of competition. If we are put at a competitive disadvantage because of this, then the business is going to move somewhere else, and it'll have very significantly negative implications for Bermudians, their jobs, wealth, money, etc.
The overseas territories say they have no problem introducing public company registers, provided it is done by other countries. In their vote on the issue, it was notable that the House of Commons excluded the British Channel Islands, such as the Isle of Man and Guernsey.
Crown dependencies have been treated differently from the overseas territories, and I was, quite frankly, infuriated about that. And it just goes to show you the kind of double dealing and double standards that we're dealing with the UK government.
Sports now, and the island's cricket team has suffered relegation after underperforming in Malaysia. Earl Basden has that story and some more cheerful ones, hopefully, in our daily sports report.
Despite late-inning heroics from Gennaro Tucker and Kamal Levrock, Bermuda were relegated to Division 5 following their final ICC Division 4 match against Malaysia yesterday, going down by 89 runs. Malaysia won the toss and elected to bat, and they would score 257 for 8 in their allotted 50 overs. Gennaro Tucker was the pick of the Bermuda bowlers with 10 overs, 3 for 34, while Kari Smith bowled 7 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 42. In reply, Bermuda fell 89 runs short of their target. They would recover from 37 for 6 when former captain Tucker and Kamal Levrock put on a 97-run 7th-wicket partnership. Levrock was the team's top scorer with 61 from 111 bowls. He had 2 4s and 5 6s. Tucker added 55 off of 81. He hit 3 4s and 3 6s. Turning to local cricket over the weekend, yesterday Cleveland County won by 8 wickets over PHC. PHC were bowled out for 89, with Cleveland County scoring 90 for 2. St. David's Cricket Club picked up a 7-wicket victory over St. George's Cricket Club. St. George's were bowled out for 199, with St. David's scoring 200 for 3. Southampton Rangers picked up a 5-wicket victory over Bailey's Bay at the Seabreeze Oval. Bailey's Bay were bowled out for 153, with Southampton Rangers scoring 155 for 5. On Saturday, PHC won by 6 wickets over Flats Victoria at Lloyd's and St. David's. Flats scored 196, with PHC scoring 202 for 4. Somerset Bridge won by 7 wickets over Cleveland County at the Whitehill Field. Cleveland County were all out for 61, with Somerset Bridge scoring 63 for 3. The Schroeder Spring Long Course Swimming Championships came to an end at the National Sports Center yesterday. In the 13-14 girls 50-meter backstroke A final, it was won by Logan Watson-Brown, who touched the wall in a time of 33.84. Jaden Judd was second in 35.88, and Taylor Horan was third in a time of 37.75. Shannon Hassel won the girls 15 and over 50-meter backstroke A final, clocking a winning time of 33.36. Gabriella Pittman was second in 34.57, and Allison Shearer finished third in a time of 37.48. The 13-14 boys 50-meter backstroke A final was won by Jack Harvey, who clocked a winning time of 31.61. Finn Mosley was second in 33.17, and Max McCrimmon was third in a time of 36.64. Jesse Washington won the boys 15 and over 50-meter butterfly A final, clocking a winning time of 26.84. Zebley Wakely was second in 28.80, and Joshua Thorne was third in 28.91. Rachel Barnes and Noah Brown are the 2018 Bermuda National Squash Champions. The My Bermuda House National Squash Championships came to an end on Friday evening at the Bermuda Squash Racket Association Club, with Barnes winning her second title and Brown picking up his first. Brown defeated the defending champion Micah Franklin in a 5-game battle, coming from 2-1 down to win 11-7, 4-11, 4-11, 11-6, 11-9. Barnes defeated Laura Robinson in a 4-game battle 11-7, 4-11, 11-3, 11-5. Chase Smith and Christine Daly are the 2018 Swans Sir Stanley Burgess 5K male and female champions. Smith clocked a winning time of 15.58. Dennis Ambalenzi was second in 17.29, and Christopher Harris was third in a time of 17.37. Daly was 7th overall with a time of 18.49. Gail Lindsay was the second female finisher and 9th overall in 19.05. Dion Burry was the third female finisher and 18th overall in a time of 21.02. 4 St. Augustine University student athletes, including Shaquille Deal, were honored during the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association Outdoor Track and Field Award ceremony. Deal was named the division's Runner of the Year. It was another day and another Northeast 10 conference title for Dage Miners and his Franklin Pierce University men's track and field team at the second and final day of the Northeast 10 championships. Miners was a member of the Franklin Pierce 4x400 meter relay squad that successfully defended its crown from a year ago, clocking a winning time of 3:15:63, which also established a new school record. The win marked the 21st career Northeast title for Miners. Jillian Teixeira and Tyler Lopes competed in the De Pauwberg International Horse Jumping event in the Netherlands. Teixeira, competing in the 1.25 meter in 2 phases Class Z, finished 3rd riding junior. The pair clocked a clear first phase time of 37:51 before clocking a clear second phase time of 31:82. Lopes and Escalada finished 67th. They clocked a first phase time of 40:43, but they had 4 penalty full points. They then clocked a clear second phase time of 39:18.
I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
For tonight, thanks for watching. I'm Diane Brewer. Hope to see you again same time tomorrow night. Good night.
Bermuda. You want it. You need it. You asked for it. Backed by popular demand. One Communications presents Razor Returns.
It was an awesome present! Oh, big fan. It was an awesome show. Amazing.
What an incredible show. I never expected it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
May 11th, 12th, and 13th. Featuring a special Mother's Day show. A special Mother's Day show that will mesmerize your mind.
Mind-blowing. I can't figure out how any of that happened. I don't want to know. It was, I don't know, my mind's blown.
Razor Returns, May 11th, 12th, and 13th. Tickets sold at Audiovisual Hamilton and Somerset, Fairmont Southampton, and online at ptix.bs. Sponsored in part by Exclusive Events, the Sarah's Family of Service Stations, Photogenic Photography, Fairmont Southampton Hotel, and Exclusive Flowers. Tickets are disappearing fast, so get yours today.
Are you looking to expand your customer base, increase sales, and be a part of the Island Community Events for 2018? Bermuda Broadcasting Company can make that happen.
Be a part of World Cup 2018, Bermuda Day Half Marathon, Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Cup Match Classic, and Eastern Counties Cricket.
Inquire about our new advertising opportunities, whether big or small. We will deliver. Come and see us at Fort Hill, Devonshire, or email us at sales@bbc.pm, or send us a message on Facebook at Bermuda Broadcasting.